7 years ago, July 6, 2001, is the day that for me will live in infamy. A car crash on that night changed my life forever. I was coming home from the Glam Slam Metal Jam concert featuring Poison at Jones Beach. Yeah, still have the concert ticket. It means a lot to me. On that night, I was traveling home. My good friend and wrestling reporter Michael Johnson, after the concert, when we were struck by another car head-on. We're on Sunrise Highway, which goes eastbound and westbound. 3 lanes on each side and a 10-foot divider separating. The person that hit us was a 17-year-old piece of shit scumbag motherfucker by the name of Nathaniel Davis III, who had no insurance and got away. The fucking cops didn't even arrest this fucking prick, and it annoys the shit out of me to this day. And if Mr. Davis, you're watching, go fuck yourself, and I hope you die. See, this kid caused the damage and walked away. No injuries, no nothing. See, he was traveling westbound, I believe. Supposedly, because this is what I was told, had a blowout, lost control of his car, came across all 3 lanes on his side, the 10-foot divider, and all 3 lanes on my side of the highway to hit me head on. Now, I know what you're thinking, why didn't you avoid it? Well, to be honest with you, I really don't remember it. I don't remember the impact. I remember my friend Mike telling me saying, "Oh shit," and then the accident happened. I really don't know. I don't know if that happened. It probably did. I can't tell you. The first thing I do remember is right after the accident is being pulled out of the car by either one or two guys. One of them said that he was an off-duty firefighter, and they pulled me out of the car, yelled at me for bleeding on him. And one of the things I remember is the second I put my right leg on the ground, boom, it broke and ripped through the front of my leg. Now, injury-wise, my friend Mike broke his hand and had several internal injuries, and he's doing pretty good now. I, on the other hand, my injuries were much worse. I ended up breaking both my feet, both my ankles completely shattering, the right one to the fact that there was nothing left on my right ankle. Like I said, I broke my right leg, I cracked my hip, wearing the seatbelt, which although saved my life, it also lacerated my liver. And my knees were lacerated right down to the kneecap, which as a result of that laceration, tore both of my quads. I spent from July 6th to October 2nd of that year in the hospital. During that time, I had about 14 different types of surgeries, to fix me, so to speak. The next 2 months I spent at home in a wheelchair. And actually, 2.5 months I spent in a wheelchair. Then I started walking with the aid of crutches, eventually down to a cane. I guess I probably started walking on my own again. I'd have to say probably late February, early March of 2002. Now, yeah, I have a bitter person about what happened. This guy got away with destroying 2 lives. I mean, maybe even 3. The guy had a passenger with him, and I really don't give a fuck what happened to that guy, to be honest with you. I hope you can understand that I feel like that. Now, see, a lot of shit went on that night. Some of which I remember, some of which I don't. It really bothered me, what happened, because, like, I was always a strong person, and this, like, was, like, for the first time in my life that I was really vulnerable, so to speak. It was the first time I had to really pretty much rely on other people to take care of me, so to speak. I supposedly asked out the EMS, one of the EMS girls, And that's a funny story because what had happened was, like, I guess I spoke to Mike the next day in the hospital, and I was like, I'm pissed off at you, and I'm like, why? He's like, because the EMT girl, who was, I guess, a friend of his brother's, wouldn't go out wouldn't go out with me because you. I'm like, what are you talking about? It's like, she said you already asked her out in the ambulance. Now, the only thing I remember that actually happened in the ambulance is, obviously they cut off your clothes, to take care of you, to, start working on you while they're taking you to the hospital. But I remember them slicing up through my shirt that I had on, but also the $80 hockey jersey that I just bought at the concert. That's what I remember. I remember being in the hospital. I remember the doctor saying they had to call my parents and asking me what the phone number was. I guess they may have asked me early because they had my old phone number when I used to live at home with them. And I was like, no, that's not the number. I gave them the phone number. But I was like, you can't call them. And they're like, why? I was like, they don't know about all my tattoos. They're going to kill me. Now, see, that's just this shit that you think of, like, when you're as fucked up, in a fucked up condition as I was. And at the time, my parents knew about 3 tattoos that I had, and I actually, at the time, had 9. Obviously, they didn't give a shit about that. They were just glad that I was alive, even though I was in fucked up shape. I also remember the first thing that I said to my parents when I saw them was that, you got to call my job and tell them I won't be in on Monday. Not realizing how fucked up I really was, and that I wasn't going to be in for the next 6 months. Yeah, I got every day I look in the mirror, I got scars all over the place on my feet, my leg, my knees, my arm. Because what had happened was, being that my leg ripped through the front of my leg, they had to do a skin graft. Unfortunately, that since I was bedridden for 3 months, they couldn't skin graft my ass, and the only part of me at that time that pretty much wasn't black and blue from all the shit they had in me was my arm. So they you can see that they took a nice chunk of skin out of my forearm and used that to replace the skin that was lost in my leg from when my leg ripped through my leg. I was lucky. The doctors did a real good job not really touching any of the tattoos. They came close to one, but it's not really the tattoo isn't really damaged, so to speak. They did a good job with that. Doctors pretty much did a wonderful job putting me back together, and I appreciate all that they did. I appreciated my friends that came to see me. I understood why some of them couldn't come see me because of the shape I was in. If you want to go to my MySpace page, just go to my YouTube channel, look under websites. It's a link to my MySpace page. You can see pictures of what the car looked like, of what I looked like after the accident. I always remember this day, for this reason, because of the accident. It's something I'll never forget. I can't forget, and I never will. I want to thank everybody for watching. If you got any questions, just feel free to send me a message, shoot me a comment. Thank you all for watching. Have a great weekend. Bye.